Let's call the order of the Parks Board meeting for October 28th. We're going to have a prayer. If you bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here tonight. Help us as we go through this meeting, Lord. Give us wisdom. Help us with everything that we say and everything that we do. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your grace. In God's name we say amen. Amen. Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Perry, can you handle that for us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Look over that agenda. If nobody has a problem with it, I need a motion to approve. Mr. Pike was number 1, and Mr. Bennett was number 2. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. I hope you've looked over the minutes for last meeting. If you need a minute, let me know. But if not, need a motion to Mr. Head first, Mr. Pike second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hot dang, that went good. All right. All right. Do we have any public comments?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right. Items for approval. Mustache Bash, Nashville Junior Roller Derby. Ms. Vallis?
Yes.
Hey! State your case, ma'am.
Well, I'm representing Nashville Junior Roller Derby, which is a youth organization that plays roller derby. We are a female charter, so we have only girls on our team, ages 10 to 17. And the players that are on our team currently are at the sanctioned level, meaning that they're playing competitive. Last year we went all the way to champs and came in 3rd in the nation. Right now in Nashville, we are really struggling with finding a facility to play in. We practice at Cohen High School. I don't know if you are familiar. Cohen was built back in about 1942, and it's a really old school. And we use their basically their gym, their basketball area to practice, because the school isn't used anymore. It's like like more of a virtual academy at this time, so they don't use it on a day-to-day basis. So that's where we practice, and it's a great practice space. But in terms of hosting a tournament that we are looking at, with us winning 3rd in the nation last year, we kind of got put at the big kid table, and now we have a lot of teams asking to come and play. When we put out the invitation for the Mustache Bash last year, it was almost like begging teams to come, and this year we have interest from Kansas, from Oregon, from Fort Collins, all these teams that want to come, which is great and fabulous, but they're not going to fit at Cohen School. And so we're really just looking for a place to be able to host our tournament, and knowing that it's roller skates, and a lot of places are really worried about, obviously, their floors. And it's just hard to find something that doesn't have pillars in the middle and, is really kind of conducive to a roller sport. And you guys have a wonderful facility with your inline hockey rink.
Okay. Can't help but notice you don't have a mustache, so.
No, I got one on my shirt, though.
I got you. Okay. Just want to
Yeah.
get all ground rules before we start this thing, all right? Question?
Just a real question, is the dates okay for the parks?
Yes, the dates are fine, and we've worked with the local hockey HIHA to make sure those dates work. And I believe we're confirming now, but I think you all talked with Wade about the donation back to the Hendersonville Inline Hockey Association. That's not on the application packet, but that will probably be part of this motion to approve your event, is that your tournament make a donation back to our local hockey group that uses that facility.
Of course.
Okay. I think Ms. Rather made him, I've got one motion, hold on a second. You give me a second.
I second.
Second, Mr. Bennett, now we can discuss, go ahead.
Just one quick question. You don't see any kind of chance of damage to the flooring? I know that's what it's made for out there, but just to make sure. Okay.
No, was that a question for me or anyone else?
No, sir, I don't see this is really any much different than inline hockey.
Okay.
And
Any
long
more
as,
questions?
as long as they, don't tackle people through the glass, I think we'll be okay.
I think we're safe.
Okay.
You gotta keep the big guys off of the skates and doing that, right? No big guys.
Any more questions?
What are the crock pots for? You serving lunch?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was a question I had for you guys was, I know you guys have a concession stand. When we hosted it at Cohen, they have, like, it's like an empty stand. You can rent it as part of the facility. I wasn't sure if you guys rent out that concession stand or if we do concessions, we would just have like a table out there to use.
The Hendersonville Civitan Club operates the concession stand out there. And there's a really nice fella out that runs that stand that likes usually to make the revenue off of these events for the Civitan Club when they come in. But you'll be welcome, and Wade can connect you with him to see if y'all can work something out about maybe some kind of chili maybe y'all sell on the side.
Okay, great.
I mean, he usually likes Wendy's chili, but you may have something better out of your crock pot. I don't
Right.
know.
We'll find a good recipe for it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I've got a first and a second. Did you get who that was, Mr.?
Yes, sir.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? You're doing good.
All right, great. Thank you.
Let's go.
All right, Tennessee Kids Belong, Ms. Kelly. I messed up a while ago. State your name when you get over there and tell me what you want.
So I believe you guys got a little bit of information, but this is some supplemental. But
State your
my
name.
name is
State your name for the TV.
my name is Tiffany Kelly,
Yay.
and I'm the associate director or child welfare director of Tennessee Kids Belong. Our organization really exists to enhance and change the experiences of kids in foster care. And so, sorry, I forgot I control the clicker on these today. And you'll see we focus really our efforts in three main buckets. Our efforts are recruitment and really awareness, but you'll see we are recruiting for foster families, but we also recruit for adoptive families. Our work is really to find a family for every child. We have approximately 9,000 kids in state custody and about 4,500, a little less than 4,500 foster homes. And so our work in this space is really to bring individuals and businesses and faith leaders into the work to really recruit more families to serve and meet the need. You'll see our second area of effort and work is the community for every child. We do believe that while we need more foster families, it's irresponsible not to recruit the support system that goes along with those families so that they can be successful and maintain support and care of kids that are coming from challenging situations. So we have a foster-friendly app. Our goal is really to build foster-friendly communities, and we do that through this app. The app itself is a resource for foster families so that they can be connected to local businesses, organizations, faith communities, churches that are saying, hey, we see you, we want to support you, and we want to keep you in the game longer. So we can say yes to you so you can keep saying yes to those kids. And so businesses give discounts on local goods and services. Faith communities build wraparound teams and support families that are in it so that they can have meals, respite or relief care, child care, words of encouragement, just really bolstering that family to keep them going. And then we are a part of a statewide network of support, Every Child Tennessee campaign out of the governor Governor's Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives. Again, really building a community that's called foster friendly so that we can build holistic change and really end the crisis of kids in foster care. The impact of that is great, as what we see in the work is a lot of our programs that we see celebrate recovery, work for those that are homeless, mental health, all of the things that we see as a community, and programs and nonprofits that are doing great work. If you poll and you talk to those individuals, many of them came from foster care or had some sort of experience in foster care, often aging out. And so our work is, let's go upstream. And so what you'll see, as I mentioned, is the need is great. Right now, nearly 9,000 kids in foster care, and again, approximately 4,500 foster homes. And then what you don't always get to hear is that foster families typically, what we see is about 50% burn out after 1 year, which really means that those foster homes provide safety and security for kids, but then after that year's time, there's another movement for that child. And so we want to build a community that can wrap around those families and keep them saying yes longer. About 8% only make it to 3 years, and so that's challenging when you have kids that come back into custody. You have kids that have case plans that are longer than a year. Oftentimes, families need to get on their feet. Often it's mental health crisis, it's substance abuse, and what we know is that's not a 90-day time frame to get healthy and get back on your feet. Oftentimes, there's a long-term support that's needed for those birth families.
Hey, my name is Sarah. My husband and I have been foster
So
parents.
before we jump into that, I'm really here to talk about the Foster Friendly Business Program, and I wanted you guys to hear from one of our local foster families. She is from this community. She goes to a foster parent support group at Long Hollow Baptist. She shops in this area, but I wanted you to hear her experience and engage in some of the businesses that have leaned in.
Hey, my name is Sarah. My husband and I have been foster parents for about 3 years. We've seen a lot of businesses in our area join the Foster Friendly app. I do always get really excited when I see the stickers on the different windows or doors. We're thankful for just the discounts and support that these businesses offer our family, but we feel like there's a bigger message that they're saying, we've got your back and we're here to help. We're really thankful for these businesses in our community.
So what does it mean to be a foster-friendly business? It is really meaning that you're saying yes to supporting foster families in it. Kinship, foster families, like I said, access this app. Currently, we have about 400 businesses statewide on the app. About 100 joined just last year, and we're continually seeing growth. Right now in Sumner County, we have about 15 businesses on the app. Those businesses offer discounts from Puckett's giving 25% off a meal, to Cheerville giving party package discounts, discounts on the youth that want to attend classes there, right down to free birthday cakes for kids that are in foster care. A lot of our kids never experienced a birthday, cake, party, all the things. And so this is just a way that businesses are saying yes. And then you'll see we have about 3,400 foster parents on the app statewide. And then again, more than 800 have joined in 2022. Currently in Sumner County, we have approximately 104 foster families and about 140, give or take, kids in foster care, so that you can kind of see what our community is supporting and working in. So our ask is really to find ways that you can say yes, and what we hear from our families are community involvement. The first thing that families typically cut when days are challenging or kids have behaviors is recreation, it's community. It's often because they don't understand as they're in the community. We as individuals that don't understand foster care can really make a family feel isolated or shut out. And so providing businesses a way to say yes allows them to have this sticker on their door And that really brings a sense of peace, as you heard Sarah say. She looks at this and she realizes, man, I'm not in this alone. I have a community that's behind me, that's supporting me, that's backing me, and that will stand up for me. So it's much more than a discount. It's providing that safety and that stability for that family to keep going. Other ways that we have seen businesses collaborate.
My name is Matthew
is-
Parsons, and I am a realtor in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Sorry. Other ways that you will see businesses collaborate is Matthew Parsons, and he'll share a little bit about what he's doing with his business and his involvement.
My name is Matthew Parsons, and I am a realtor in Knoxville, Tennessee. But more than that, I am also an adoptee. I was adopted as a child. In addition to that, my wife and I have done foster care for over 20 years. We've had over 30 placements in our home. In addition to that, we've adopted 4 kids, and we have 4 biological kids.
So what you've seen there is somebody that's lived it.
Matthew
and
Parsons
Ooh.
helps people find homes. Tennessee Kids
Is there a way to
Belong
pause it?
finds homes for kids. And here's the other thing. I love baseball. And
Sorry, thank you. So what you'll see here is another way that the business is giving back. So hosting foster parent night outs, hosting home run derbies, being able to provide space for these families to come together and be with others that are in it. Like I said, foster care families that are in foster care often say it's isolating because people don't understand what they're going through. And so again, our ask is really how can the Hendersonville Parks Department, Recs and Parks Department, other businesses, other programming really say yes to these families and show up. And when we talk to our families, sometimes it's, hey, a registration that can be discounted or free allows my kids to participate in an event that maybe they would not. Oftentimes our families go from 2 kids at the breakfast table to 4 or 5 kids at the dinner table, and those costs and those expenses are typically the first cut. But when we have a community saying, yes, we can show up and we can offer a discount or a free offering for free registration, you now have added community to those families, other healthy adults and mentors and individuals that really provide additional support persons in that child's life. I'll have other ways, but again, these are just some of the projects that we're doing. I believe you got this beforehand, but we're involved in some of the other work around the community, and I just wanted to highlight that there's some other things that are there. So what you'll see here is other things that we're involved in. Specifically, we have a Foster Family Fun Day coming up where you will see businesses, churches, community partners coming together to provide space for our families to get involved. The invitation has been extended to Hendersonville Parks to be there, to provide some activities and engagement. But again, just a space where these families can feel loved and seen and supported and continue saying yes because their community says yes to them. Any questions?
That was very well done, by the way, man. Very well done. But yes, Ms. Berry?
Tiffany, thank you for what you do for this deal here. Actually, what are we actually voting for to
So I think the request from the staff would be that you all who have the authority to set fees and do things in the parks would potentially vote to approve that no fees for parks run events, programs would apply to foster families. What's the number in Sumner County, I think? You told me.
Family-wise, we're around 104.
There's 104
And kids
families
is
that we know of that kind of use these things, where we could then, as a Parks Department, be identified on their program that this is a place, if you're a foster family and you're needing to and you want your kids to play summer baseball that we run, that you have a place to do it where it wouldn't cost you a fee. Now, we can't control rugby, soccer, hockey, all these other groups, football, Civitan baseball. We can't control that, but you know, potentially if we get on board with that, maybe some of those will jump on that as well. I personally, until Tiffany came to meet with me, would have never thought to even think of that. You know, we have avenues for people who are not as fortunate, that need fee waivers and other things, need scholarships for things all the time. But specifically knowing that that was an issue for foster families is not something I personally knew. So that's why I thought this would be something you could address at the
I think
Parks
there are
Board.
things in our society that need to be waived like that. That would be one of them, I think. Question?
There wouldn't be any limits as to how many we would approve? Is it just however many is needed?
I would say if you're a child in a foster situation and you sign up for a league, if you want to play in every league we got, then so be it.
I like it. I make a motion that we approve this.
Mr. Montoya was first, Mr. Perry was second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Boy, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Like we always talk about, there's 3 people that watch this, so,
Hey, I'll take, it's 3 more than before, so.
So,
hey, maybe more watching.
Tiffany, if you'll make sure and follow up with me for what you need for us to get listed on your app and your website. And I think it would be prudent for us to send out some sort of press release to Tina Lee with the paper announcing kind of that we start this program effective maybe January 1 or whenever we can make it effective. Okay.
And did you get my email that we can come on the 16th? Yes. All right, cool. Just making sure.
Wow. Glad that happened. Scooby's Car Wash proposal, Mr. Ray.
Scrubbys.
Well, before he,
I like Scroobies.
before he speaks, let me give you all a little background about why Mr. Ray is here. He has a car wash business, has been operating in Hendersonville for a long time, and he identified a location that really is city property along Sanders Ferry Road. A lot of you might be familiar with this little pull-off here that's right beside the new Greenway area. So what he's going to be asking of you all is to approve for him to operate there
2 days a week.
a couple, whatever the application says, in a certain spot there. And also, I will tell you that he and I and a member of the Public Works Department met because there will be things he'll have to satisfy for disposal of the water. So that we're not just rinsing off water into the creek or the lake. So I'll let him take it from there. But
State your case, sir.
That is correct. My name is Jonathan Ray. I am the owner of Scrubbys Mobile Detail, and I'm requesting a permit to clean vehicles on Saturday and Sundays during the early part of the day across from Waterford, from the Waterford Apartments. And like he was saying, Mr. Gilly was saying, I have been doing detailing for the past 8 years. I ended up finding that location, and I was doing it early. I've been there before, and I was asked to try to get a permit, which leads me to this point right now. What I've given you guys, I think all of you have that information. I have a $2 million liability policy that puts me in the way if something goes wrong with a car, of anything of that nature. Hendersonville would not be held responsible for that. I provide my own tank. I have a 500-gallon water tank along with generators and vacuums. Mr. Gilly asked me for every 6 months to make a donation to the Parks Department, and I told him I'd be willing to do that. Stand behind Hendersonville. I am a resident of the Hendersonville area. I've been here for about 17 years. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do, and hoping that you guys will grant me the permission to do so. So that's kind of where I'm here.
Question, Mr. Gilly.
Please.
I know that there has been a fruit and vegetable guy there and a barbecue guy there. What permits did they have to get to do that?
I would tell you that they were operating illegally there.
I see.
And kudos to Mr. Ray for trying to go through this process because He's trying to operate a business on city, not just city property, but Corps of Engineers property that we lease. So therefore, it becomes even more of an issue, which he's willing to go through this process where if you all approve it, we will have to send a letter to the Corps of Engineers, and we'll probably have to go through like we did, if you recall, when we had the gentleman operate an ice machine at Sanders Ferry Park. We went through a process with BOMA on him. We also went through a process with the kayak outfitters for Memorial Park that hasn't opened yet, but they went through the same process Mr. Ray is going through. So, long story short, he is willing to go through this process. Other people are not, and if they are seen there, they are asked to leave. Obviously, Mr. Fruit Stand or Mr. Barbecue may sell all day long, and I may not drive down the road, or somebody else may not drive down the road. So that helps. I hope that answers your question.
And also my goal is to make sure that Scrubby stands up in the community and make sure that we try to follow the rule, or me as the owner try to follow the rules that's requested out of Hendersonville. That's kind of where I stand on it. So that's why I'm going through this, to make sure that I'm doing it the right way.
I make a motion.
All right, have a motion, have a second from Mr. Head. Any more discussion? Do we get a free car wash? No, never mind.
But of course.
We just need your contact info.
They yell at us for that, yeah. Any
By
more
all means,
discussion?
please call me.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Good luck.
So,
Thank you so much.
So, Mr. Ray, from here, I will get in touch with you. We'll craft up a letter to the Corps of Engineers,
Okay.
and we'll likely try, the next time our Public Works Committee meets, we'll go through that process.
Okay,
To
sounds
get
good.
that approval.
I'll do it.
And also, thank you for doing it the right way.
Yes.
Thank you for coming
I
in and doing
appreciate
it the
it.
right way.
Thank you all for it.
We appreciate it. Thank you. TUSC Labor Day Tournament, Mr. Whalen. You're lucky you got two bullet points here. So.
He's got 3.
3, really?
He's got a lot to say.
Stay up there
No,
for all
two.
3.
Figured I'd get it out of the way while we're here.
He's hogging the
Also wanted to add that we do provide financial aid applications, and anytime a foster family is noted, we give them financial aid, but we will, our U5 is a free program, but our U6 through 8, U8 juniors will be a part of whatever you guys are putting together. So we'll offer free for that, so. So let's see, let me get my glasses on here. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. Good to see you all. Labor Day tournament. So we are proposing a Labor Day tournament in addition to our existing fall and spring tournament. Couple of reasons for that. One is that we are currently maximizing out our fall and spring tournaments at over 250 teams, to the point of we're using Drakes Creek, Moss Wright football fields, Liberty Creek, Station Camp, Merrill Hyde, Beach, Hendersonville, all the high school fields. So we can't really grow that tournament anymore from a team standpoint. We would just need to raise fees and things like that. So looking to add a tournament, for that from that standpoint. We're also looking to add another date locally for our younger teams. And then when I went through the park on Labor Day in Drakes Creek, it was fairly empty. So I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity to add a tournament for us on a non-busy weekend. I don't know if it's traditional, but this past Labor Day there wasn't anything going on in there. So we're proposing to host a Labor Day tournament starting next September.
questions. Mr. Ed?
Can we put both of his applications into one motion? Or does he need to present each one of them differently?
I would do them all differently.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We approve it.
Mr.
I make a
Perry?
motion to approve.
I have one question.
Oh, sorry.
Are you going to use Moss Ride as well for this day, or are you still looking to get approval on that?
They currently have recreational on Saturday mornings, Labor Day weekend. So if we used Moss Ride, it would be Saturday afternoons and Sunday.
Okay.
But right now, we think the first year would be 100, 125 teams, so we may not need to.
Okay.
I do have a question. Are there any other massive tournaments going on in the park scheduled for that time period? Because that looks like it's pretty huge.
No,
We
we-
have intentionally not scheduled things on Labor Day
Okay.
to give our maintenance staff a weekend off. That's why the park is empty. So if we approve this, which I'm not against having it, we have to figure out a way where we give our guys who work their butts off all summer, and then starting September, go all the way through November, one weekend where they don't have to worry about it.
Thank you.
Well, already.
We always have part-time people. Even on Christmas Day, we have part-time people come in and open the restrooms and do the trash and open the playgrounds. So whatever we gotta do, I don't know what that looks like for y'all in terms of maintenance.
Can I ask what we currently get service-wise outside of changing the trash and cleaning the bathrooms?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest part of it, and then having the guys there just in case something does happen, you know, whether it be a plumbing issue, electrical issue, you know, you never know what comes up, but trash and restrooms are the biggest thing that we handle back there.
And if there's something we need to do to hire our own or pay double time or whatever we would need to do, we'd be willing to do that. I was not aware of this until just now, so.
I mean, we're not currently set up, unfortunately, like the police department, where we're allowed to contract out our guys off duty to come and work. That's been asked and asked over and over and over again for us to have that same flexibility. There are companies, obviously, you know, that do trash all the time. So I'm not opposed to that.
And back in the 8 to 10 years ago, Hendersonville High School did the trash.
Right, which was a huge help. Well, Russ Plummer did the trash. I don't know about the whole high school.
Well, the soccer team.
I mean, we'll figure it out. I'm not doing my job though if I don't say why the park is empty on Labor Day. You know what I mean? I think this would be a huge economic boost for the community, which obviously we stand on. So.
Would it be better if Jonathan and Trevor got together, or the Parks Department and Jonathan got together to discuss this a little further and see what we can do?
I mean, they can, but yeah. When do you need to start advertising the event? Now?
I need to get approvals through the state for the weekend.
Have they already approved it?
They don't take the approvals until January for the following
Gotcha.
year.
Okay.
Is it a first come, first served date?
Yes.
In other words,
And they
if we
don't
wait
allow-
till middle of November to send them this date, you could go behind somebody else, is what you're saying.
Yes, they don't allow another tournament within 75 miles of an existing tournament.
That's what I thought.
All right, do I hear a motion?
What was the first and who?
Well, Mr. Perry was first and Ms.
amend it
Rather
if
was the second.
Okay.
Do vote
But
to
now we got
approve this as
discussion.
long as it's okay with the park staff and maintenance.
That's the discussion part.
A motion to approve it as long as it's okay with the maintenance staff.
No, I have a question. Oh, no, I have a question. Do you have people on the maintenance staff that would take advantage of that overtime if it was offered to them?
We have people on the maintenance staff that work tons of hours of overtime all the time, and they do take advantage of it. And what he's asking for is, can I hire them extra off, like a off-duty person? Because normally, in this case, let me explain how it works. If we have a huge weekend, if we have Tennessee United Soccer and we got a baseball tournament, we got a rugby tournament, we got a hockey tournament, and we got an event at Sanders Ferry Park. On Wednesday of that week at noon, we sit down because we are clearly not staffed at all to handle all that with full-time people, not even remotely close. So at noon on Wednesdays, we sit down at lunch and we say, okay, here's the spots that are available to work. If you're full-time and you want to come in on Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, extra, you can do that. We can offer that up, but I'm just telling you, I can't guarantee you that we're going to have everybody sign up for that. And me personally, I'm not going to force them to come in.
No.
We will assign part-time guys all we can, but a part-time college kid manning the restrooms when there's 5,000 to 8,000 people in the park might not be the best case scenario for everybody involved. So it will take some coordination with everybody to do it. I can see the need, I get it. They're maxed out. We got a great complex, everybody wants to come here. I will tell you that we are at the capacity for our capabilities of handling all these things until we get some more people.
I just think it's unfair of us to with no offense, to approve and say, yes, let's go ahead and do that. And this is the only weekend they have off.
Not every one of them work every weekend. We'll make it work.
Okay.
They're good partners.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
And I think Trevor would
As it
agree.
stands.
We'll make it work, but I'm telling you, these guys are at their capacity. This staff is at its capacity. Mentally, physically, all the way around. And so we must be careful of piling it on and piling it on. And I'm the chief piler. I'm a major part of having an event that was 3 days where I stayed up all night. And it's the thing about it is it's the right thing to do for our city to allow them to bring this many people in here and drive economic impact. But we have got to start staffing it.
Well, my dad used to have a saying about people that do things, and if you prepare well, you don't have to use what he said, which was, well, it'll probably be all right. Well, I'm not much of a fan of it will probably be all right, because when you say it'll probably be all right, it's doing what you're talking about, in that it puts pressure on you to do things that you would rather not do. Am I correct in saying that?
In this particular case,
Yes.
I'm telling you it will be all right. I'm telling you overall, it will probably be all right with everything we've got going on.
What my dad said. Most of the time, I was the one screwing
Look,
up,
they're
so.
they're great. Tennessee United is a tremendous partner.
Indeed, indeed.
For our city and our parks. And Jonathan is the nicest guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless him for driving through the park on Labor Day. I don't know why you were in there on Labor Day.
Evidently, I should have gone to the maintenance shop to see why they weren't there. A little heads up on this one would have been nice.
Okay, given we have a first and a second, we've discussed, any more discussion?
No, the motion will be to approve it as it stands for right now.
Yeah. And I've got that second. More discussion? You know, at some point, I think we ought to have an employee day, or we ought to have an employee picnic for them, and I don't know how you do that, but I see those guys. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I see those guys every single day, and they're not doing pretty things. You know, they're digging around in trash cans, and they're on top of mowers. I've seen them on top of mowers when it's raining, and they're still out there doing their job. They got those little Chinese hat things on. They look great. So at some point, we need to do something for the employees past just saying, thank you, employees. So I might take up a collection or something. Anyway.
It's called hire more employees.
Hmm?
It's called hire more employees.
Oh, I can't do that.
No, I know.
I wish I could, though. All right, I got a first and second.
Just a thought, as you're looking to approve this, what about adding in some language in your motion here, not approving any additional events on this weekend moving forward?
I would do that. I make a motion we approve this and not sanction or authorize any other tournament that weekend in Drakes Creek Park.
Okay, say that.
Or
say
any
that,
part.
Say that one more time. We're going to do another
The
thing.
motion will be to approve this event, but not approve any other events for Labor Day.
All right.
Until we hire more staff.
I've got a first. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
question.
It's not gonna be fair moving forward.
Okay. I've got a first, and do I have a
So
second?
does this become the so-called reoccurring event then? Or does this, will
The way we have operated is that if an event is approved and it goes well and everybody's good and there were no major incidents and the dates are requested again, we have approved it without bringing it back here.
Okay, we drop, question,
Yeah.
wait a minute, we're dropping the first one, and I've got a first on his new motion. Do I have a second?
I have a question. Oh,
You
we're
can
waiting
do
for
it.
discussion, okay.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Second, all right, Mr. Bennett, discussion.
I think that we should add in there, add to the motion that unless sufficient staff is hired to cover that day. Because I don't think it would be fair just to say, because, and we love Tennessee United, just because they were there first and want to have their tournament, that nobody else can do it. If we have the people, then we should allow other people to do, other leagues to
I
do that,
gotcha.
if we have the staff.
Okay, we'll have a vote on that the way it is first.
You would need.
And if you don't agree with that, then don't vote for it.
If what she's asking to do, Mr. Chairman, I think is to amend the motion to include the language,
Okay,
approve the tournament where it would only be the only tournament on Labor Day weekend due to staffing until sufficient staff could be added to add additional events.
and would that,
Absolutely.
that would
What
be
he
your
said,
motion?
yes.
All right,
Yes,
and I have a second from Ms. Rathert. All right, any more discussion on the 18th, the motion? I'm kidding about that. Any more
Does that mean that that we're gonna be hiring more staff?
No, it does not.
All right. Any more questions?
Hold on, Mr. Chairman, let me get this. Okay, so here's where we are right now. I feel like I'm in a BOMA meeting again, Mr. Peterson. Here's where we are right now. We have an amendment from Ms. Rathert
Yes.
to amend the main motion where she includes the language due to staffing until we have sufficient staff to operate more events.
Yes,
And the second was,
Ms. Rathert.
that was her motion, and the
Oh,
second
well,
was
then
from
second-
Mr.
I
Perry.
need a second on that, would be Ms. Hellman.
Second, Ms. Hellman.
Yes.
Okay. So now you would vote on the amendment.
I need a break. All right, any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Now you're gonna vote on the main motion, which is to approve the Tennessee United Labor Day Tournament
Well, I thought
on
we did
Labor
that
Day
first.
weekend,
Okay,
and that would be the only tournament on Labor Day weekend due to staffing issues until sufficient staff could be added.
I was out of procedure, I'm sorry, sir.
That was first by Mr. Perry and second by Mr. Bennett.
Yes. All right, any more discussion on the first motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Woo. Are you tired yet?
I got two more. They do not require staffing either, I hope, I don't think, so.
All right, winter field use request, Mr.
Yeah,
Williams?
winter field uses, this is not new. We've done this the last 3 or 4 years. We just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. We're requesting the use of 3 fields in the parks for basically Thanksgiving to Christmas. We have 23 teams that are still going to be training and playing and going through playoffs into Martin Luther King weekend. The fortunate thing this year is one of those 3 fields is going to be the turf field, which is going to be great. Just trying to get that approved. I think we've kind of worked on a schedule already, so if we can, and again, this is not a new thing this year. We've done this the last 3 or 4 years.
I'll just add to that, you all passed the winter closure policy on all athletic fields, starting the week of Thanksgiving until spring sports start up in February. So that's the reason why he's back again this year. I would be open, if you are all willing to, if y'all decide to approve this, to possibly look at approving this going forward for this group, because they will have these teams every year needing to have fields to train. So I'd be open if y'all want to approve up to 3 fields for them to train on in the winter closure months. And then if they needed more than the 3 fields, that they would have to come back to the Parks Board, just to, so he doesn't have to keep coming back every year for the same request. But again, that's just an idea, but it's totally up to you all.
And we rotate the fields.
Yeah, yeah, you'll see the schedule in your packet there. We rotated the grass fields, so I think each field's only impacted twice during that schedule, to limit the wear and tear on those fields. And right now, the fields look the best they've ever looked, and I think that's because of the work that we've been doing these past few years with the closures and moving things around.
So it's no problem then? No problem then?
No, we have a plan worked out. If you all approve it, it's very similar to the plan that you all approved last year, that we'll be able to provide them fields. And if they end up not needing all 3 fields each of those dates, we would always schedule them on the turf field first and then add it in the grass fields as needed.
Okay.
I make a motion that we amend the field closure policy as an exception for Tennessee United to have up to 3 fields annually at the discretion of the Parks Department.
Mr. Gilly's pondering.
No, I'm not pondering. That policy was approved by BOMA.
I see.
So you could recommend that happen.
Right.
Then
Can't
I'll
change
But
that.
we would have to take that all the way to BOMA.
I'll change my motion to recommend that this happen going forward to Bowman for approval.
Okay, got a first from
All
Mr.
right,
Head.
hold on. The first, I'm not on the board, but I can tell you right now, that's a whole new agenda item. So you would probably, after you deal with this particular item of him asking for 3 fields this year, you would probably need to vote to amend your agenda, which would take a 2/3 vote, which probably you'll do, and then discuss if you want to make that recommendation. And Mr. Peterson, you help me if you think I'm wrong about that, but I'm not trying to be.
Let's be legal about it.
So we need a motion to approve this, then we need a motion to amend the policy and take it to BOMA. Is that correct?
You need a motion to approve his request now for winter field usage for 2024-25.
So I'll make a motion that we approve field usage for 2024-25 winter field usage for Tennessee United.
All right, Mr. Head made it first, Mr. Pike second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Number 2, heading for 3, my friend. 7x7 high school.
Wait a minute, we have to make a motion now
Oh,
for it to go to BOMA, or recommendation for it to go to BOMA, right?
You need to make a motion to amend your agenda.
Okay. I need to I'll make a motion, we amend our agenda.
To discuss the winter field usage policy.
To discuss the winter field usage policy. Man, I need Robert's Rules of Order.
okay. I need a motion to amend the agenda that we have in front of us.
So I just made that a motion.
Okay, Mr. Head's first. And Mr. Pike second. Okay, we will add that as letter J. No, we won't. We'll add it now. E1. And second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, now we will take that, your motion, now.
Right. So now we're opening up for a motion to discuss or a motion to recommend that BOMA amend the winter closure policy for the fields to allow Tennessee United to have an annual 3 fields each winter. Is that correct?
I have a motion from Mr. Head. Mr. Pike is second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor, all opposed, no? Thank you, Mr. Head. All right, now then, 7x7 high school league. Mr. Whalen?
Yes, we were approached by multiple local high school soccer coaches about the possibility of creating a 7v7 high school boys league in January and February. This would be a 6-week league on Sunday afternoons using the turf field only. Like I said, it would be run from 1st of January to middle of February when they can start their high school training and official practices. We were approached by the high school coaches to start this and have already gotten commitments from multiple high schools committing multiple teams per high school to this league.
We need more soccer fields.
I'm sorry?
I said, we need more soccer fields.
So if it's the turf field only, that doesn't fall under the winter field closure, or does it?
That's correct.
It does not.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not affect that at all.
And I make a motion, we approve this league for the turf field only for the months of January and February. Is that correct, John?
Yes.
We got a first and Mr. Pike was second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? You need to probably take a nap.
Yeah. I'm done for now. Now I can do the hard stuff at the fields. Thank you guys for everything you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. College Rugby Championship and All-Star Game, Mr. Silkwood.
Make it easy, Brian. I promise to be shorter. Promise.
No Labor Day.
I've been asked by some of the local college level rugby to host at what has become one of the finest, obviously finest complex in rugby here within the South. So multiple teams have come here, coaches have come here for various programs. Then with the high school all-stars have seen the fields, and now they're requesting to have their main marquee event here at our fields. So it's their championship for their various levels. Think of, AAA, AA, kind of like that. So there'll end up being 3 championship games, possibly there may be a 4th, but it'll all be on the same day on the one field, and then we're using the other field that has already been reserved for other rugby. So there'll be, I think, a total of about 7 games out there during that weekend. 4 of them will be on the college on the main field with various teams traveling from all over. So sorry to say University of Tennessee will not be part of that as they lost their playoff game this past weekend, but most likely it'll end up being Kentucky and probably their Clemson, South Carolina as the headline match.
So these are going to be taped or televised?
They will be televised. Yeah, I'm working on trying to get some scaffolding or something for them to be able to get cameras up. They'll be live streamed. All games will be live streamed. So we'll put scaffolding and/or I've got another idea of maybe a flatbed trailer. Put it over on the opposite side where the fans will be. So on the side where the team benches are, we'll put something right there where it's only thing will be around there will be the team benches and the trainer, or the teams and the trainers to be outside of anything dealing with the public.
Just make a motion, we approve it, Brian. Thanks for what you do up there, brother.
Whoa, who was first? Mr. Perry was first, Ms. Rathert second. Any more discussion?
I do
All in
have a
favor?
question. Brian, why not do a lift instead of scaffolding? I just feel like the scaffolding wouldn't be out there as safe as, say, just a small lift.
The organization that's bringing the tournament, they've used some scaffolding at some of their other sites, and
Okay.
so they have something that they've used prior. A lift would be great, but then that's additional money that, as the host would have to come out of pocket for. So unless somebody's got access to a lift I don't know about.
No. I was just curious.
Yeah,
what
they've
the
used
thought
it
process
before,
was there.
and that they've used it and are used to setting it up on fields, on a site like ours. So I was, pretty much letting them go with what they've got. I was hoping to maybe get more of a flatbed trailer because they just need to be 4 to 5 feet up.
Okay, so they don't have to be.
No, we're not talking 20 feet up.
Okay.
They just want to be about 5 feet up, so where they're shooting over the players' heads that'll be around. So you get
That makes more sense.
some height, but we're not talking 20 feet up.
Okay,
No.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm assuming this is different insurance coverage than what you run under?
I'll confirm. I'm not sure if they're under ours or not. I'll confirm that tomorrow with the league, and I'll get them to get to me if not.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I got a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys. Good job, Brian.
Community Shoreline Cleanup, Ms. McClendon.
I'll be fast. So I'm Paula McClendon. And 3 years ago, I started a nonprofit called ImpactFriday.org. And it was after post-COVID because I felt like in communities, we weren't really coming together as communities and serving communities, especially for our middle school students, our high school students. And so when we created Impact Friday, we worked with the Tennessee Hope Promise Scholarship and mainly the students at Ball State, the freshmen, sophomores, they need 8 hours of volunteer service. And so we specifically, their hours are due July 1st and they're due December 1st, so that's when they want to work. And so I work 410s for NES. We've been on this Oracle project for forever that we're going to wrap up in 5 months. But anyway, I work Monday through Thursday, so it gives me Friday off. So we started doing different events on Friday. So 3 years ago, we started putting kayaks and paddleboards in at Mallard Point Park over here. And my husband, we got all the friends with the kayaks and the paddleboards, and we round them all up. And we usually have, 30 to 50 people. And we would put in on Friday, and we would clean up initially I have to give it to your Parks Department because we thought we would clean up around Kids Kingdom, and there was no trash up there. Where the trash is along Saunders Ferry Road, and now that we have the walkway there too, so we're cleaning up trash from the kayaks. So we put the kayaks in the water, and we're cleaning up from there. Mayor Cleary has been out the first 2 years. He was not out with us last year, but the year before he had his kids out there with us. And I always do a fun thing with the kids that whoever collects the most trash, they could win $20. And I guess 1 year I had a mother with an autistic son, and he was determined he was going to win that, and he did. Although, since I was a woman, I presented the $20 to him. He was a little disappointed because he thought my husband was running. But what I like about Impact Friday is trying to teach them leadership skills. A lot of our students haven't been on the water before, and so doing that together and just sparking young people to actually serve community. We have pulled out a lot of trash the last 3 years. This year I contacted the Corps of Engineers, and I've talked to Jacob Craig, and they're also interested in sponsoring this with us. And so we wanted to move it from a Friday to a Saturday. We were looking at June 21st, putting in over there. You guys mentioned a kayak something earlier. I would like to find a company that we could actually just lease the kayaks, let people bring their kayaks, but not have me, rounding everybody's up and doing a U-Haul to do it that way. The Corps will provide additional life jackets. I've had lots of life jackets. They're going to provide water. They're going to provide boats on the water. I also have a jet ski. I've had pontoon boat on the water, and then I run the jet skis because the students pick up so much trash. We have to get them from the actual trash can, the trash bags back to the pontoon boats. And they even pulled out those great big cones last year and everything. The other thing I was asking if at Mallard Point we could have like a barbecue food truck and maybe Brewster's ice cream at the end, and they could pay for their stuff. What we've done in the past is we kayak all the way down to Saunders Ferry Pizza, and then we pull our stuff in, and then we eat, and then so that's between 30 and 50 people, but I hope doing on Saturday maybe we could, get more like 100 people involved. It's great opportunities for families to come serve together, and if I do have that much, and we could send some across to over there by Castle Park, Rock Castle, it's not really that far over there to pick up trash. So that's what I'm proposing. And I have a short video. I don't know if y'all want to see that because of your time, but it's like a minute. I don't know. And this is actually the autistic.
「海
Thank you, ma'am. All right, questions?
No, I just think this is a fantastic program, and it's amazing how much you'll be able to pull out of that area. I wholeheartedly think this is a wonderful thing to do, so I make a motion to approve it.
You got a first? And Miss Hellman got in there this time. All right. I'll let little hand go in there. I like that. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Where do we sign up?
Yeah.
I'm
So,
glad you didn't die,
on
didn't you?
impactfriday.com, I'll have volunteer and you can sign
Dot
up
org.
there. But
Dot org.
did you mention something about a kayak company though? I'm looking for somebody to.
So, a couple things. ImpactFriday.org, you can sign up, right? If you'll send us an email, we'll connect you with Broken Paddle Outfitters and see if they might be willing to jump in with you here on that. And Wade can help you line up potentially food trucks also.
Okay.
And I was wondering if people sign up, how do you sign up to be on the pontoon boat all day long and hang out? That looked like more fun than picking up trash.
Yeah, well, I lost the pontoon boat because they sold their house and the boat went with the house. So, but that's why when the Corps got there,
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to put in more like fishing boat style boats.
Thank you for your help.
Yes,
Well, I'm
ma'am.
looking forward to working with the Corps. I think that's good too. So yeah.
I hope so. Thank you.
They're excited about it.
Thank you, ma'am. Master Gardener Annual Plant Sale, Miss Reese.
There she is.
Hey, Miss Reese.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Doing well. State
My
your
name
case.
is Shannon Reese, and I am a representative of Sumner County Master Gardeners. If you're not familiar with Sumner County Master Gardeners, hopefully you are. We do a lot of volunteer work for Rock Castle, Mansker Station. We just did a beautification project at the Hendersonville Library. So primarily we do a lot of gardening in the community. We have one fundraiser a year, and traditionally our fundraiser has been held at the UT Extension office in Gallatin. I am the new chairperson for the annual plant sale, and I would like to move it to Memorial Park because there's more engagement with the public. We do a lot of outreach. I think it would be better for us. I think it would be great for the park. We're partnering with beautiful Hendersonville so that they can come out and have an education booth along with us. We'd like to have vendors. Traditionally, in the past, it has just been people come, they pick up pre-ordered plants that we provide at a large discount. They're very cheap. If you like plants, you must come to the plant sale. But this year we are expanding our plant sale so that it's not just Amish raised cheaper vegetables and herbs. We're going to offer a lot of specialty plants that our own gardeners have grown in their greenhouses and on their farms and in their own home gardens. So along with the expansion of what we're doing in the plant sale, we want to have vendors so that there's like children's faces painting, not vendor booths, but setups so that we can have like kids come from the playground area and put together plants that they can take home. Just a far more all-encompassing day, since the plant sale does run from first thing in the morning all through the day. So, I didn't expect to be presenting tonight. I apologize for not being more prepared. I expected to present in November, but I would like to offer up maybe a schematic of how our layout is going to be if you wanted to table it to November, but I'm happy for you to approve it today or answer any questions that you guys might have.
So just to be clear, the reason why we did have her go ahead and come on, because they were in partner with Beautiful Hendersonville, and they are actually selling things. That's where it came about from a vendor perspective, because they're going to rent the pavilion, and we need to go ahead and block that off, because what I don't want to happen is we wait a month and somebody comes in and wants to rent it, because we're about to move to a new online platform within our office for shelter rentals, and at any point anybody could rent it. So before I put a block on it, I just wanted to make sure this was on everybody's radar. So
thank you, Wade. I appreciate that.
So, Ms. Reese, this is down from the April 12th through the
Yes, sir.
25th.
25th.
That's what.
2025.
Oh, got it, okay.
Yes, sir.
I was misreading it. I
not
thought
a
we were
2-week
saying it was
event.
gonna be a 13-day sale. That's my bad. April, what's the times of day that you normally have it? I'm sorry.
8 a.m. until 5 p.m.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I would also like to, I did put in on the application, we're happy to donate the reservation fee to beautiful Hendersonville since they do so many great works. But I'd also like to, if possible, if we could donate our vendor fees. Our vendor fees are what, $50 per vendor. And we're hoping to have at least 5 or 6, vendors out there, food vendors, like I said, vendors for children, activities, things like that. So if we could also donate those funds to beautiful Hendersonville, I would really love that.
And that is in their application described in there, so that should be part of the approval, should you all approve their application. Would you be willing to donate flowers to our Parks Department for our park entrances?
Yes, of course. We want to give away, I want to give away all the plants and the flowers, but we do have only one fundraiser a year, so our plant sale is our fundraiser. But we'd be happy to help you with anything in the park.
We'll send our flower man to you.
Please do.
Thank you.
Top flower man.
Yep.
Who would that? Never mind. Question? Do I have a motion to approve? Oh, Ms. Hellman's first, and Ms. Rathard second. Thank you, Ms. Hellman. Appreciate it. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right, updates. Ms. Hamlin, Recreation?
Cindy.
Thank you. And October 6th, I think it was, it's been, I forget what I did yesterday, so I have to really think. But October 6th, we had the preschool track meet. I had everybody that registered show up except for one. It ended up being a really hot day, but they hung in there. And I had lots of volunteers, even though they were off for fall break. And so I couldn't have done it without them, but it turned out to be a pretty good event. The only thing that I have questions about is the date, and fall break is always going to be either before we do it or right after we do it. And so in my mind, I'm going to see if we need to look at another time frame to be doing the preschool track meet. I will say that I had several people reach out to me because we did it earlier and they already had fall break plans. Their 5-year-old who cannot participate next year was pretty sad about that. So I'm going to talk to Andy and them and see if we can look at something about that as well. Trick or treat at Drake's Creek's tomorrow night, October 29th. Gates open at 6 o'clock. The special needs community can meet me at the end of field number 3, and we will open the gate there for them at 5:30 to let them go in first so they can hopefully get through and not have all that sensory things going on with them. Breakfast with Santa is Saturday, December 7th at Whitten Elementary. There's an 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30 session. You can register online or in the office. The event is free, but you still have to register to participate. Registration begins on, I believe, November 4th, and it will remain open until all spots are full. In the past, we have filled up within days of it opening. So anybody out there that really wants to get in on that, they need to be looking for the registration date and get in there. Special Friends Visit with Santa is Monday, December 9th, 5:45 to 7 p.m. here in the main conference room. And registration also begins November 4th. Again, the event is free, but we'd like for them to register so we know how many we're expecting to come. This event is sponsored by the Parks Department in Hendersonville, Civitan. Raptors basketball registration will begin soon. I believe that's November 4th or November 29th. And we will probably end up, not November 29th, December 29th, excuse me. But I will extend that because they are off again for Christmas break, and a lot of people put that off to the end and they forget about it. But I will be reaching out to them several times to remind them to get registered. And the season will run from beginning of January till mid-February. I already have a date set up to do an exhibition at Station Camp High School, and usually Merrill Hyde Magnet School invites us to do an exhibition. And we would love for some of the other high schools to ask them to do exhibitions as well. If they want to, they can reach out to me about that. They just said we're going to go to a different format I don't even know how to use that format because I work during the day and come in part-time, so they're going to have to train me, but they can still go to www.hendersonvilleparks.org, try to get all the information they can for all the programs that we have in the park. Any questions? Shortest thing you've had all night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Cindy.
Recreation, Mr. Fugate.
Good to see you, Lori.
Good to see you back.
Congratulations to our fall ball baseball champions, the 8U Athletics, 10U Yankees, and the 12U Pirates. Congratulations to our kickball champions, Tennessee Kicking. The adult softball tournament and championship are tonight, so I will have that update next month. The high school basketball start practice tonight, and games will start November 14th. And then adult basketball games will start next week on November 6th. Any questions?
Question? Thank you, Mr. Fugate. Special events, Mr. Evans.
Just a couple of things happened over the last month. Obviously, our Coleman Midget cross-country tournament, Tunnels to Towers, NFL flag football, Jameson Wharton football for the Cure tournament, and of course Pig Fest. I'll let Andy talk about Pig Fest. But I do have two numbers for you just for the board. Thursday night we had roughly 800 people in the park register between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. that were at our little event we had on Thursday night to kick it off. And on Friday we had 2.6 thousand unique devices in the park from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I can timestamp it exactly in that park. So it's pretty cool to see that that concert has grown from 2,000 to 2.4, and now it's at 2.6 thousand people were out there. And that doesn't count people that didn't bring their phones or kids that don't have phones or tablets with them. So easily 3,000 people out there. I can get the data for Saturday tomorrow. We do start basketball this week. I think I mentioned that, but we have added a bunch of schools. So thank you to some of the Sumner County schools that have let us in there this year for the first time in a while, and Pope John Paul. We're going to be using their gyms on Saturdays, so we appreciate that. We have the state rugby tournament coming up this weekend. Our Power Wheels Grand Prix on November 10th. The state cross country meet is next Thursday and Friday at Saunders Ferry Park, and we host the regional meet tomorrow for Beach and Liberty Creek. Last but not least, Beach High School. I've been working with them. They have some girls that are doing essentially it's a fun run, but they actually, when their friend Grace passed away, they have changed it now to called Race for Grace. So that's going to be going on the Greenway this coming weekend on Saturday. So hope those girls have a great event and successful.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Questions? Maintenance, Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir. A few of the projects that we've got going on right now, we continue to work through our ball field renovations. We've gotten 6 of them done so far. So 6 of them have been graded and rolled out, and now they're just going to sit over the winter and bake and hopefully be ready. Well, they will be ready for next spring to play on. We've got 3 more that we're doing, but they're a little bit more invasive, so we're taking them one at a time to make sure that we've got all our ducks in a row. If you go through the park, you'll notice a lot of fences getting changed out and upgraded and everything, and they're looking great. And it's crazy how much a fence color will change, and you'll really notice it. So we got all our ryegrass put out over the last couple of weeks, so we'll be ready for the winter time. We are starting this week to repair boards on the pedestrian bridges going to Veterans Park and coming out of Drakes Creek Park. Some of them are just old and starting to rot out, so we're going to get those changed out. And then this past week, we actually finished installing the storybook trail, and they had their little opening, I think, last Saturday on that. So now if you go through Memorial Park, taking a loop back behind the lacrosse field, that storybook trail is now up and completed. So that's all I've got.
Thank you, sir. Questions? Assistant Director, Mr. Long.
Thank you. Soccer is wrapping up this next month. We've got the rec soccer tournament beginning this weekend, and they'll go through all of next week. Tennessee United is winding down as well as the adult league. This weekend we're also hosting at the stadium field the high school state all-star soccer game. Tackle football is also coming to an end. We hosted the first round of the playoffs last week, and it's So just good luck to all those teams still playing. Flag football will continue to play all the way up to Thanksgiving at the rugby fields. We also hosted, as Wade mentioned, we hosted the NFL flag regional tournament at the soccer complex a few weekends ago. That was a huge turnout, and I believe they hope to come back next year with that. And then let's see, rugby. Rugby is winding down. We got the state tournament this weekend for our club, and then as y'all just approved tonight, the college championships the following weekend, and then rugby will be done for the season. And then lastly, next Monday, we're rolling out a new registration software system to the public. It's a project we've been working on for probably the last 8 months. So it'll be a little different system than what everyone's used to, but hopefully it'll be improvement. A couple of new changes that we'll be including is customers will be able to book Shelter 8 at Sanders Ferry and Mary's Magical Place Shelter online now. And then January 1, we're going to roll out the ability to rent out the tennis courts and pickleball courts online. So once we get everything up and running, we'll roll those out slowly with those rentals. So some much needed improvements and much user friendly we feel, but it'll be a little bit of a change for people at first. So that's all I've got for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Somebody have Mr. Bruce's report? That would be Mr. Gilly.
Yes, sir. Senior fall men's tournament finished last week. Congratulations to Team Porth for winning the senior men's fall championship. We think it's the fall. It could still be their spring season because they play year round. So, fast pitch fall softball tournament started last week. They'll finish up hopefully this week. The Youth Hockey League tournament was last Saturday. All those winners are online on their HIHA pages. We still have Civitan baseball going through the first part of November. Few open teams. Those are travel teams that are still playing. Civitan basketball. That is our youth basketball. Those practices start this coming Saturday, November 2nd. And then games start December 7th. I think we're around 140 teams with the youth combined with Ori's leagues. We're up around 170, 180 teams in just basketball that we play in the schools. So that's kind of cool. High school baseball and softball practices went on this fall. For the first time ever, official high school baseball and softball was allowed to practice per TSSAA rules. So we had Beach, Hendersonville softball, and Hendersonville baseball all practicing in the fall, which is very productive for those teams. So I'm glad we're able to get that in for them. Then we have, along with some other things, out at the hockey rinks are going to be really busy. Echo lacrosse, Echo hockey, Bear Paw lacrosse, the Nasty Cup, which was rescheduled from earlier in the year during, I think, the hurricane weekend, if I'm not mistaken, and Santa Skate. Don't forget about the Santa Skate coming up. And that is Mr. Bruce's report.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Director, Mr. Gilly?
Yes, sir. Dallas mentioned the NFL flag tournament. We've done a lot of work on the soccer fields for them to get to the point where we can start, where we can have those type events back there and not damage the fields. And we've had staff here in the planning department fly a drone, and we're going to be sitting down and reviewing kind of the before and afters of all that. It looks like the soccer fields are in the best shape they've ever been in, even with all the play and with the NFL flag tournament go on, so that's very encouraging. I want to let you know that the Sanders Ferry boat ramp project, where the TWRA is coming in to rebuild it, has been moved back to a January start date, February. It was scheduled for November, right after cross country, so it is now a February project. We'll obviously notify all the public. That's actually better probably, since we tend to have some good weather in November for people to use boats still. Trevor mentioned the baseball and softball field renovations. I think it's about 8 of the dirt fields and the turf high school baseball field all being repaired, replaced, renovated due to the floods and tornadoes that we received FEMA funding. It'll be reimbursed. We want to thank our Board of Mayor and Aldermen for having the foresight to approve the funding ahead of time so that we can do these projects in the right time of year to get them ready for the spring, and then FEMA will come in and reimbursed for those nearly $500,000 worth of repairs to those ball fields. And some of them have not been taken care of this well in probably 20 years, so it's very much needed. If you've driven through Drakes Creek Park, you've probably seen the parking lots that were paved during fall break. That was a phenomenal improvement. I want to again thank our board, mayor, and aldermen, and all the citizens that voted for that half-cent sales tax increase, which directly paid for the park paving. That did not come from the general budget. That came from the sales tax PIPP fund, Parks Infrastructure, Police and Fire and Public Works, PIP. So thank you, and it looks great. And hopefully we can do more next year in more parks with more paving and more parking lots because they all need it. The maintenance shop, we are in the final stages of getting we have a pretty good site layout. We're in the final stages of getting the design plan so that we can go out to bid on that. Hopefully, our hope is to go out to bid by December on that project. We do have security cameras now operational at Rugby, which is a big plus. So IT will move on to the next round of camera projects. Wade mentioned upcoming cross country. That's a huge deal. We got a few thousand people will be at Sanders Ferry Park tomorrow, and then again next week with the TSSAA, that will be 6,000 to 10,000 people in there on 2 days, the first week of November. Huge benefit to our city to host that. Appreciate everybody from the county to police and fire to Sumner County Tourism to everyone that has worked to bring that event here since 2020. Wade mentioned Pig Fest, another huge success, I would call it. 48 ended up, we had 2 teams drop at the last minute, so we had 48 barbecue teams. We had a tremendous steak dinner and painting the parking spots on Thursday night, concert on Friday night, and then all kinds of activities on Saturday. We're still adding up all the bills and receipts, but we feel pretty good that we're going to be in the $50,000 to $60,000 to $70,000 range of raising money, of which Mary's Place will get the bulk of, and then the other 3 charities, Grace Place, Live Love Nashville, and Christmas for Kids will benefit from that. And all told, when you talk about judges, just people that were helping out, probably had over 400 volunteers that helped make that event, along with our staff who worked like crazy. Some other people in the community, some of our main sponsors also showed up to help. And then all those beneficiary groups that we mentioned, all with their board members and volunteers came to help, especially on Saturday. So that was pretty incredible. We also had, during part of the event was a pickleball tournament that had 235 participants, which they're going to end up donating part of those proceeds from that tournament back to the event, which is cool. And one thing we did separate this year that we had not done before is we offered Sumner County teachers a free ticket to the Friday night concert, and 400 teachers reserved a ticket for that event. So I was really glad we were able to do that, because as a former teacher who my first year to teach, my starting salary was $28,000. I know that you need something to do sometimes on a Friday night that's affordable. So it was a great event, and we're looking forward to making it better and tweaking things and doing things to bring it back in the next year. And the last thing, Mr. Chairman, so we can get out of here, is I just want to thank Alderman Peterson. This is his last official meeting as our liaison, I think. And he's been a phenomenal advocate for our Parks Board and our Parks Department on the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. It is extremely important that we have a good advocate, because many times in meetings, and you know, rightfully so in a lot of cases, you will hear the priorities for cities are fire and police, paving, and parks. So, I mean, I'm very competitive, and I don't like being fourth right out of the gate. So it is important that we have an advocate. Mr. Peterson has done that for us and been a great liaison. I appreciate you very much for what you've done for our city, stepping up to serve. Having done it myself, I know that it's not fun, and I don't know why we even do it sometimes, but it is rewarding in the end, and you have done great things, and I appreciate it. That's all.
Thank you. Round two, what do you got on your mind down there, Mr. Montoya?
What an honor to be part of this board. After hearing from Tiffany Kelly for the Tennessee Kids Belong, waiving the registration fees for all that, to be a part of this is just, I'm gonna be glowing for a week. And then the other one, the Paula McClendon's shore cleanup, all that. What a great thing to have, to be part of, to say, you know, I helped with that, and to be a part of that, to sit on the board, and also to be a part of this community. My cup runneth over.
Don't glow too much down there. Mr. Head?
Mr. Peterson, just thank you very much for your time on our board, and we appreciate everything you've done for us in the Parks Department and the parks in the city.
Mr. Pike?
I just want to bounce off of what Andy and Jimmy said. Thank you, Mr. Peterson, for being a huge part of following in Mr. Brown's footsteps and being a huge part of helping us do what we can do to make this big machine roll. We'll miss you.
Mr. Perry?
Not only just Pig Fest, but every event that you guys put on down there, God bless you. They're all top notch. Just no wonder everybody wants to come up here and get a date at one of these spots we have. And sorry that it can be treacherous here trying to get a date, but Mr. Peterson, thank you. Old neighbor, Mr. Alderman, you're a treasure to the city, and we appreciate you, brother. And the rest of y'all are awesome. I'm hungry.
I would like to say thank you to Mr. Peterson as well.
Mr. Bennett?
A couple things. Number one, congratulations to Merrill Hyde Magnet School Ladies Soccer for winning the state tournament. That is fantastic. Also, I congratulate Station Camp Ladies Soccer. They came up just short, came in second in the state, so congratulations. And Lee, we're going to miss you. Enjoy getting to know you, and having people like you on the board brings, like you said, a treasure. That's what Mr. Bubba Perry said. So thank you, my friend.
So thanks, Lee. You've done a great job. It's been a pleasure to have you up here and serve with you. And to who just talked about somebody come from miles? Was it Marty or Bubba? Talking about coming to Sierra Parks from miles around. Well, I was going to say, I'm usually at the dog park with my dog, and it never fails that almost every time we are there and there are other dogs there, the people are not from Hendersonville. I mean, Hendersonville still uses it, but last time it was a couple from Kentucky who drove like 45 minutes to bring their dogs down here because it was the best park while they were camping up there. And I was like, that says a lot. Y'all do a great job.
Mr. Peterson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate being asked to sit on this board. I did have big shoes to fill from Steve Brown, but, and I hope the next person who takes this seat loves the parks as much as I do. My kids played soccer and baseball and basketball, and we spent 17 years in Drakes Creek Park, and it was our second home. And you're right, people come, what a treasure, not me, but the parks are for this city. And you're right, people come from all over to take part in what we already have in our backyard. And I'm so grateful that the parks are here. I was at Pig Fest, and I tell you, what a phenomenal event. But I tell you, I was more impressed with the pickleball tournament. I couldn't believe it. And what a marquee space that we have. I don't think any other city has 12 courts. You're right. You said people will be coming from all over the southeast to play on our pickleball courts. They are phenomenal. Andy, hats off to you for saving us $1 million by just revamping the old inline rink. Y'all are so creative, and you roll up your sleeves and you make things happen. And I know, Andy, you can't tell anybody no. But it shows because everybody wants to use our parks. And you brought up a great point. You don't have enough staff to handle the volume. So I hope we can sit down with your budget next year and add adequate staff, because Heritage Park is going to be open before we know it. And, you know, how exciting that we have so many parks. We have so many things to offer our residents. They can all take advantage of everything that we have, but we also have to maintain them. Trevor is fixing up some bridges. I mean, these things wear out, and we've got to keep them maintained. And I just appreciate your staff, Andy, for everything that they do. The full-timers, the directors, the part-timers. Tennessee United wants to have a huge tournament. I volunteered for years picking up garbage, and I don't mind doing that. It's just, this is a community, and we all want to help out and participate every which way we can. I was honored to sit on this board, and I'm certainly going to miss it. Mr. Chairman, thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Peterson, I think you still owe me money. No, sir, it's been a pleasure for you being here. You've added so much for the statements you've made, if nothing else, after the meetings. I appreciate that. So, anybody else early vote? I know at least one other guy on here that did that. And how long did we stand there? An hour. Yeah, exactly. So everybody get out there and vote if you haven't voted. All right. A motion to adjourn?
Right here.
God, she had it. Mr. Bennett, second. Ms. Hellman, all in favor say aye. Aye. We're out of here.
Bubba's hungry.